To guard the route to the Holy Land, the Templars built a chain of forts. To pilgrims, these whitewashed outposts gleamed like beacons. Inside, they were as austere as the knights themselves. In 1177, near the Mediterranean port of Ascalon, the Templars attacked a Muslim army under the Sultan of Egypt, the great Muslim general Salah ad-Din. The knights won the battle, but the Muslims captured their Grand Master. The Templars' rules forbade ransom. In battle, the only honor lay in victory or death. Their leader perished. Gerard de Riefort, who had risen fast through the ranks, was appointed the new Grand Master. In 1189, he would lead the Templars at Acre, once more against Salah ad-Din. Acre, the largest port in Palestine, as desirable as it was formidable.
This town is good and strong, bounded and fortified by the sea, and protected by good, large, deep moats lined with stonework from the bottom. The towers are high and most powerful.
Besieging Acre, the Crusaders were themselves besieged by Salah ad-Din, coming to its relief. On a crisp morning in October, an order passed through their camp. Gerard de Riefort made ready for battle. He first donned a quilted jacket to pad his torso, then 20 pounds of mail, made of thousands of interlocking ringlets, small enough to deflect an arrow. Over his armor, a surcoat to protect the metal from rain, sand, and the Mediterranean sun. Then a hood of mail to guard his neck, and last, his iron helmet.
You could see there an incomprehensible number of armed men. There were so many shining coats of mail, so many glittering helmets, so many noble horses neighing, so many white mantles, so many knights of great probity and daring, so many banners that never had such a crowd appeared to be reckoned up.
The Templars rallied by their Grand Master and their banner, black and white, a reminder of the battle between good and evil they were called to fight. Its motto stiffened their resolve, not for ourselves, but for God. Gerard led his Templars in prayer with the Psalm of David.
Not unto us, O Lord, not for ourselves, but for God.
The two enemies were as unlike in warfare as they were in faith. The Crusader knights fought at close quarters, hand to hand and heavily armed. The Templars fought as a formation. Their discipline was scorned by their comrades, but respected by their foe.
Their first attack is the most terrible. In going, they're the first. In returning, the last.
Lightly armed and cool-headed, the Muslim horsemen struck like hornets and fled just as fast. Unlike the Crusaders, they felt no shame in fighting at arm's length, nor in living to fight another day. The Pope would hear how his knights fought that day.
On the 4th of October, we joined battle. Altogether, we were 4,000 knights and 100,000 foot soldiers. However, our enemy Saladin had 100,000 knights. Nevertheless, we were armed with the sign of the Holy Cross.
The Templars charged. They held their lances low to pierce Arab armor. Coming to blows, they lashed out with their swords. Those who fell to the ground fought on, with sword or axe. Victory or death, or disgrace.
Should any of them, for any reason, turn his back to the enemy, or come forth alive from a defeat, or bear arms against the Christians, he is severely punished. The white mantle with the red cross, which is the sign of his knighthood, is taken away, and he is cast from the society of his brethren, and eats his food on the floor for the space of a year.
No knights were disgraced this day. In their eyes, God fought with them. Allah abandoned his followers, and his followers abandoned the field.
They fled before our swords, and we pursued them up to their very tents. We managed to kill 500 of Saladin's knights, far more than we had hoped. While we were engaged in battle with Saladin, 5,000 knights left the city and made a sudden attack on us. We still managed to hold up against Saladin on one side and offer courageous resistance on the other, before retreating to our camp. But for God, our men were killed on that day.
Among them, their Grand Master, Gerard de Riefort. The siege went on. Among the Crusaders, food was scarce, disease rife. Christians died or deserted, but the Templars stayed. It was beneath knights to do such menial work as breaking down walls. Instead, they undermined Acre with money. With Templar gold, the Crusaders bought siege machines. Led by the English king, Richard the Lionheart, the Christians spent the summer of 1190 trying to breach Acre. They filled in the moat and brought up battering rams. They wheeled a siege tower toward the defenders, but the walls were too strong. After 2 years of holding out, the city was defeated by starvation. In July of 1191, Acre yielded. A month later, ignoring the Templars' advice, Richard pushed on to Jerusalem and was beaten. For another century, holy warriors battled each other for the Holy Land. Across the sands of Palestine, Christian armies, multitudes up to 100,000 strong, flowed and ebbed. Between the tides of invasion, the Templars held fast in their fortresses.